Right. What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel.
What is that?
Top Lobster Productions.
Dan Bongino. I'm a huge fan. I have been a huge fan for a while. You're a gentleman and a scholar and a legend. And I know you tried your best, and I know you're doing the right thing, and I believe in you. It is crazy to me that people think this guy didn't do everything he could do. You know. Because the question is, who else? And I believe in Kash as well. People have been ragging on him about the jet and all that stuff, and I'm like, I'm not playing this game, okay? I know Kash Patel. Nobody's got the God hand. Nobody's going to go in and just turn a page on these corrupt institutions overnight. But the idea that these men are not trying to do the best they can is laughably absurd. All you got to do is listen to Kash Patel talk about what James Comey did, and you can hear it in his voice, his passion for weeding out the corruption. Does it mean you can get through? No, but we start somewhere.
He's called for radical changes to the FBI.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state.
And wrote in his book, Government Gangsters, that the FBI has become so thoroughly compromised that it will remain a threat to the people unless drastic measures are taken.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you. You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. You know, why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you.
Welcome. It's Christmas week for those who celebrate that holiday. This is Tyler Yonke, LPR, coming to you on a Thursday, and it's not even noon in my parts of the world. Not even noon where I'm at. I hope everyone's doing well. I thought we would jump on. I don't think I'm going to do a long one because I do have a planned show for tomorrow, and maybe I should give you a snippet of that little preview of what I'm going to be reviewing tomorrow. It's this ridiculous debate.
Because we had an agreement today, and you called me scared while the invite was sitting in your inbox. So here you are. So you have an
issue. You sent that invite 5:06 p.m.
That's how it started. It got worse from there. Not for Owen Schroyer, but this Green Beret. And so maybe we'll talk about at that point. Can you because Owen has a problem, and that problem is you've always got to respect the military guys who fought. Fine, okay, respect that they signed up, but you know, but then you can't mock them. You can't do everything out. You know, Dan Crenshaw, it just came out. You know, he's like saying to Dave Smith, "Oh, you're not respecting. You know that I served." It's like his is a little bit different because you can mock him, and because everyone should be dealt with individually. Okay. Teachers have to be respected. Do they? How about specific good teachers? Okay. Military people, just like that. You can have idiots in there. You guys that have served, you know this. Okay. Jose as an example. Jose served. He's a good guy, but doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else has to be. Now, this didn't pop up in the thing, but let's do the full chat here. But Jordan says, can you account for your location during the Brown shooting? Now, Brown shooting appears to be a little bit nondescript. I think you're talking about Brown University because there's a lot of Brown shootings. You just asked about this the other day. about a Brown shooting in Stockton. I mean, there's Brown shootings everywhere, I would say, all the time, way too many Brown shootings. Nick went on Piers Morgan and talked about Brown shootings. Anyway, I hope you guys checked out Jose's show this morning. He did some good stuff. I'm just going to talk about Dan Bongino, but I'm going to talk about the Orange Schroyer thing. I'm going to play that tomorrow. About a 30-minute clip of this Green Beret, and this guy's so smug. Just because you served and you killed people doesn't mean that you are now an expert on everything else, military, everything that's involved, planning and whatnot. I think this is why we have supposedly civilian military, or commanders or whatever, commander in chief. Anyway, we'll get to that. I'm not an expert at all. I just want to think that you can't hide behind a literal shield like that guy does. Okay, so Dan Bongino, I played a hit at the start. Let's play this here again.
What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel.
What is number one?
Okay, so there you go.
Dan
Oops, sorry.
Bongino.
Now I'm hitting everything else. So there you go. Dear to my heart, Dan Bongino. And then we played the clip there of Tim Pool, which is just ridiculous. Kash Patel, Dan have done everything. Let's get here. And I know Jose went over this, but I want to put my spin on everything as well. So here's what we're going to do. I just want to remember and remind everybody of who these people are. Okay. Oh, this actually has Jose's post in there. It's sweet. I will be leaving my position with the FBI in January. I want to thank President Trump, AG Bondi. Now we've had a shooting. Bondi and Director Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. Most importantly, I want to thank you, my fellow Americans, for the privilege to serve you. God bless you. God bless America and all those that defend you. Her. But remember this.
What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel.
Okay, defense of Israel. Israel. It's so stupid. Jose says, I'm sure the pedophile elites are grateful for your service. Good luck with your show. Now, there is a lot of sucking up here. It's unbelievable, actually, from what's going on. Of the people just like so thrilled that with this first show back, it's going to be amazing. We're going to, let's take a look at a few of these people here. So this person, never heard of her, Anita Magrine. Says, if you're disappointed in Dan for leaving, look at it this way. Another good agent can step up in the FBI, but absolutely no one can replace him on the air. Dan is a force on the mic. These people, I don't know where they're okay, so the assumption, the Candace even put out, she's like, I'm glad to see this because now, I'm assuming that there's just too much corruption in the FBI, and therefore he needs to float free. He can't handle it. And I'm like, whoa, let's step back here a bit. No one forced him to make all those comments before talking about the FBI and the deep state and the cover up in the Secret Service and everything, Epstein files, all these they're all out there, and I'll play a few of them, but they're all out there. And then going on there and saying, I've seen it. Well, I've seen it with my hand. I did the laboratory tests myself. That was talking about one of the shootings. Maybe it was Butler or whatnot. All this stuff I've done. And why the 180? And look, it's perfectly fine, which I never saw this quote. This is what the question needs to be asked. Okay, we're going to believe you now. Why were you so firm before? You and Kash come out there, you say all these kind of things. You're so firm in your beliefs before, and then you're flipping on a dime. And then there's people like this that are just like, oh, he's the most amazing. We're so glad to have him back. And like, did you not pay attention to anything, that was going on in in this whole thing the whole time? So there's this guy, Graham Allen. He's doing this kind of stuff. I'm trying to find some good quote stuff in here. Oh, let's play this guy's video. I haven't seen it. I watched it. It's just that. Here it is. First of all, it's just the title. Dan Bongino will be stepping down as deputy director of the FBI in January. I don't blame him at all. I can only imagine some of the things he has seen in his tenure. Anyone else excited for his first podcast? I'm like, I'm so confused. Why did you ask him this question ever, which I started to talk about, which is, why were you so sure before about this corruption and then so sure after? What changed your mind? I'm most curious if we're going to believe that now we've seen all the evidence. Doesn't it make you wonder about your pontificating, the leaks, your sources, all the thoughts that you had before going in there? I mean, this is why we liked you, right? Not me personally. I never watched your show, but this is why people liked you, the MAGA people, because you took on the deep state. You did all this stuff. You said all the right things. You're such a man. You're up there doing karate in your studio. This is why they liked you, right? The bombastic. So you're going to go in there, and we're going to play a clip here of Glenn Beck talking to Kash Patel. It's him playing his interview with Kash and just getting all excited, talking about how shit's going to go, heads are going to roll. This is so exciting. Okay. And then nothing happens, right? When you get in there. So if you believe that these are sincere people, they should be saying in their positions right now, I was completely bamboozled when I was in public service, private service. When I was out there, hitting the mic and whatnot, I was full of shit. I didn't know what I was saying. Now that I've seen everything, it's a completely different ballgame. Is that what they said? No, they just acted like they never spoke about it before. No, I've seen I've seen all the evidence. I've done the testing. I've done all the testing myself. That's literally what Bongino and Kash Patel said at one point. Okay, let's play what this guy has to say. He looks like he's someone we should probably be listening to. So here's a minute 20 of some excitement.
Dan Bongino is resigning. Wow. I gotta say, I'm surprised.
Okay, first of all, let's not act like you're surprised. We've been seeing this coming for quite some time. Dan Bongino, when he first got in there, talked about, this is so much time away from my wife, being divorced from my wife. We're not divorced. Now, he used it in the technical sense. We've used that in family law about it's not good to divorce the kids. And what that means is separating them. Okay, it's not good to separate kids. In other words, the whole, what was the movie where the two twin daughters, they're separated, and one went and lived with mom, one went and lived with dad, and they never told the other one about the other. It's the most evil fucking thing you can imagine. That's what they mean by divorced. But that's what he said. Oh, no, I meant, we're separated from each other. Okay, maybe a misstep, maybe not. But you're surprised?
But not. Honestly, with the way that the environment's been, I feel like this is making me feel a lot better than it should. And I cannot wait for it. I gotta tell you, I am more hyped for Dan Bongino's first cast than I've ever been with this whole Candace Owens and Eric Kirk thing. I want to know, what does he know? Why?
Oh, give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. He's going to talk about that. Will he have any credibility if he comes out and says, I was forced to say all these? Why were you forced? It doesn't have to be a whistleblower. This makes zero. These people's minds are. This guy, I don't know. He's a self-described patriot. It says it on his hat.
Did he leave? 9 months. I have a lot of respect for Dan, okay? I've always had respect for Dan.
Me too. And you know what gave me the most respect for him?
What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel.
There you go. That's where I always, my respect for him was always high for that one.
And I told my friends I did not like it. And I don't think Dan liked it either. We all know, as soon as Dan got in, he changed, something happened, he was told something, he found out something, it didn't sit good with him, and now he's done, he's out. Oh, I hope.
But what does that say? I'm sorry to kind of repeat this, but what does that say about you? You're going to go in front of the, I knew something, and so I basically had to say these things. Then you quit on day one, I don't know. Or you go along and get along. You don't go and make statements that you have to. I don't know. These people want to see something so bad, and it's crazy.
Did I have him under an NDA? Oh, please, we need to know this. Whatever reason Dan Bongino had for leaving his position is what's wrong with the country. I'm saying it. Gigantic red flags on the play.
No, and by the way, that's not how you throw a red flag up from your waist like that.
What's wrong with the country? I'm saying it. Gigantic red flags on the play.
That should be memed right there. No, he's just underqualified.
Whatever reason, whatever caused Dan to leave is the problem in this country. The question is, will we find out what it is. Can't wait for that. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Okay, I don't think there was much of anything obvious there, but good for that patriot. Always glad to have patriots in the building. Let's see if I can find. Then you got Kash Patel going on his. Let's just let's show this. Let's show this. I'm just gonna throw some clips up here of Dan Bongino and his glorious time as the FBI director, because as what the guy said, he's gonna come out and he's gonna throw the
evidence we have in our files clearly indicates that it was in fact a suicide.
We released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive.
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
The evidence we have in our files clearly indicates.
Right, so there you go. These are the kind of things that are all over the place. Here's the clip I was talking about when he came in, that you should not ever have been surprised. I think this might be actually the reason why he's quitting. I mean, is it ever good to be away from your family? I don't know.
I mean, I gave up everything for this. I mean, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this, and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Kash is there all day. We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there he gets in at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night.
Oh crap.
I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. He uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these four walls all day in D.C., by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, we love each other, and it's hard to be apart.
But you're doing some great work. You're straightening out the FBI. You're moving buildings. There's a lot of change.
I got one more thing.
Yeah, their idea. Look, you're moving buildings. You guys are doing the Lord's work. Nothing pointed out of what they're actually doing to make this possible. Okay, let's maybe I'll play this here because this is somewhat fascinating to me. Maybe we'll move over in this one. We'll get a little different perspective. This is kind of fascinating to me. Where's the volume going? They moved it over here. Okay, let's move this to 1.25. This is Glenn. Let's see. This was done a year ago. Him talking about, I think it was when Kash was nominated for the FBI and them just getting giddy about
Kash was on my show, and we were talking about who has the diary, who has the phone records, who has everything from Epstein. Do we have that cut? Yeah, go ahead, play.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who?
Porn music.
That is, I mean, there's...
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school. We still haven't seen that, right?
Ding
it's
dong.
Not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out.
Pizza
the FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game. That's why you don't have a Black Book.
So, but the Black Book, it's not just sitting. I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, nice. Please, I can't take any more.
On day one, roll out all of the text message communications we were told were deleted. On day one, play the rest of the video of the pipe bomb.
Oh, yes.
He need one of the reforms I talked about in the gangsters.
This is hilarious to watch, knowing what took place and what has taken place.
You need a central node to be continuously declassifying. There's another thing they do. They overclassify. And I'm telling you, as a former number 2 in the IC, they overclassify 50% of the software to protect.
But here's where reality doesn't match, okay? This is why the Dan Bongino, everything I was saying about this stuff before, which is these guys, they hype everything up and then they can't follow through with it, or they're not able to, or they don't want to, because it's a lot of their shtick is bullshit, okay? You have to live in the real world. You're not going to go in there, and it's so pathetic because Glenn is soaking this up because that's his desire. We're going to hit all these people with this kind of stuff, and you're hearing it from Kash, so you're believing him. but he hasn't done anything. And have you called him out on it? I don't know. I'm not actually watching Glenn anymore. So there you go. Let's keep going.
Oh no, you can't see that. Nothing to see here. Gina was a master at it, of doing it. And we still haven't seen half of the Russiagate report that we wrote.
Oh yeah,
Still under lock and key. On how the ICA was originally constructed. We put 10,000 man hours against John Brennan's team that did it, and we found out why they came up with their bogus conclusion. But we couldn't sell it to the world because we couldn't talk about it, and the government gangsters came in and buried it.
Wow. Let me tell you this. I think I need a whole pack of cigarettes after that. He's gonna.
But yeah, Glenn's actually right. It is porn. It's not real life. It's porn. It's exactly the kind of stuff that gets you hyped up and that's evil, right? I don't think porn's good for you. This is not good for you. Cash is not good for you. That's what it is. Now, Eric's over here saying Tyler drinks gay beer. Now, it could be.
It'd be good. And that's the only reason this pardon is happening, because Kash Patel, because Glenn Beck likes him so much. Look, what he's definitely going to come after Hunter Biden, and therefore we didn't think. We never would have predicted that Adolf Hitler would do something like this.
Here's what we need to start tweeting. Okay, everybody needs to start tweeting this. Kash Patel, we love you. We love you. Please release all of the information on the Biden administration.
Yeah.
All of the information on Hunter Biden. You can't prosecute him, but you certainly can prosecute everyone that was involved in the cover-up. And by the way, we'd like the names on the Jeffrey Epstein list. There's no reason.
Do we need to play the clip about nothing actually happened? There was nothing to see. There is no list. Glenn Beck, it's exciting that you are literally masturbating to this kind of conversation, but there's nothing there. There never, I don't know, was there something there? I tend to think there's a lot there, right? And that you got this guy that you think is going to be your savior. This is the problem of it's with a lot of things. Your main people, they're not your saviors. Glenn Beck isn't my savior, right? Well, I mean, unless you're.
That if that was a bunch of truck drivers, we'd know every truck driver's name. Why don't we know this? And it is too much power in the hands of the FBI director or the president or whoever might have it. The only way that thing becomes powerless is if it's revealed.
Okay, let's go to some revealing information about the FBI as of lately, because what we really want to know is what some multiple. Let's back up just a tad bit, because there are a lot of things in the news as well. There's the Bondi Beach massacre. Okay, there's more Charlie Kirk stuff going on. Erica met with Candace. That's interesting. Megyn Kelly's coming out saying that she facilitated that meeting. Okay, fantastic. There's the Brown University shooting, kind of like what was said here in the chat. Let's go here. The Brown, it's not in there. Where Jordan asked about my Brown shooting. Okay, was I there? Now, as I've said, and if you can rewind, there's a lot of Brown shootings, and those are, the sad part of society. There is a guy that went and shot up Brown University, and there's all kinds of little shits going on with that. We'll have to maybe break those down as well. That's fascinating. Bongino's quitting and leaving. That's fascinating. There's a lot going on. Now, people are saying, holy shit, because if you remember, months ago, there was this tweet, and people have been bringing it up recently, okay, saying Candace Owens is so full of shit. And by the way, you can go out there and find a lot of things that she is full of shit on, I believe. I don't think she's dishonest, personally. I think she just gets way out. It throws out wild accusations or premises and theories. Now, one of the things they're bringing up this tweet where she's like, just wait, there's going to be a 9/11 style attack in middle of December. Just wait. Okay, and people are like, she's so full of it. Now, if you actually look at that, she was mocking the left because they were claiming there was going to be a 9/11 style attack in the middle of December. Now Bondi happens, and I saw people actually using her quote, her tweet, and going, holy crap, she was right. Okay, so she was wrong. You were wrong for using it the way you were using it to begin with. She's not necessarily right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. Now, TPUSA, right? There's crap going on with that. What have I said about TPUSA for quite some time, which is I believe there's a lot of, you can't have this, I think there's probably fraud everywhere in this thing, okay? Maybe Charlie did or didn't know it, but evidently he was going to do some sort of Doge-style independent audit. Whether that's all tied into his untimely passing or not, I don't know. I think, though, that that's going to come out, and that's going to bring that organization down. And I've said that, and then people are like, you don't care about TPUSA, or you don't care about the GOP. I don't. When you just played all these clips of these GOPers, and they're literally masturbating on screen to Kash Patel and the things that he's, supposedly going to do, it's a grift. It's a grift. It always has been, and there's so much more going on. Okay, there was another. Speaking of grifting, I wanted to play a Pasobic thing here, but maybe we'll start with this one. Maybe we'll start with this, which is there is this guy Graham Allen. I've started to see him more and more recently pop up, and he's kind of disturbing guy. He's your typical sycophant GOP. Trumper. So we were never going to hold people like Tucker Carlson accountable for telling the world President Trump was going to declare war on Venezuela last night. We are the same people that make the most money doing this wrong all the time. Now, he's also in like Liz Wheeler's feed and these others and himself. Liz Wheeler, right, mysteriously got this binder full of evidence from, got played horribly. We played clips of that. Go back and look at episodes where she was on Glenn Beck talking about how they were, this new media and we were coming in, and then she got played. And I'm like, interesting. You can say everything you want about the old media, just the sycophants there. But if Trump called them in and tried to take their phone, they wouldn't be falling for it. I don't think. So she fell for it because she's just a MAGA. Okay. And she's not a journalist. Okay. You can be that. But when you get hit with the truth, like this guy, you can't help it. Now, what actually took place? I just happened to be watching this yesterday. This clip here with Tucker Carlson on Judge Napolitano's show. And this is actually what he said about Venezuela. Hang on, I'm going to move this over. I don't know why I got adjusted weird. There we go. So here's actually what he said yesterday about Venezuela. Let's take a look.
Is Trump going to start a war in Venezuela?
I don't know. I don't know when this program airs, the one that we're on right now. This thing's maybe live.
We're live now, and then it'll be posted immediately.
By the way, I thought that was funny watching this because I'm like, yeah, I'm watching this live, and Tucker's like, I don't know when this is coming on. He's like, bitch, we're on the air right now. I don't have a huge audience, but we are.
Right
so
now.
So my sense is, I don't know the answer. I've certainly been on the phone a lot about it. I have no power. I'm a podcaster, but I'm very interested. And so here's what I know so far, which is that members of Congress were briefed yesterday that a war is coming, and it'll be announced in the address to the nation tonight at 9:00 by the president. Who knows, by the way, if that will actually happen? I don't know. And I never want to overstate what I know, which is pretty limited in general. But a member of Congress told me that this morning.
Okay, I don't doubt that that's something that was actually said, but you get this is where the dishonesty is a little bit much, right? And we try to not have that in what we do here, right? I just saw some tweets the other day, Luigi Mangione, right? Oh my God, his charges for terrorism got reduced, and he's not being charged with murder one. It's like, okay. New York classifies things specifically. If it's terrorism, it's got to be against cops and certain. It's a very specific outline for the element of terrorism. Now, first degree is considered that there's first degree murder is usually like what you would think of premeditated murder. Okay. The intentional killing of a human being with malice aforethought. That's the concept. That's their second degree. They just are weird with numbers. Also, like their superior court is called the Supreme Court. It's not so what's their Supreme Court called? I don't know, the ultimate court. It's just different. Okay. So you get that in your mind. So people are just ridiculous. And a lot of this is your mega style that comes out here because they've got to have it. And I need to find this. It's a Pasobiec clip That's just it's your typical. I don't know. It could be true, but he also received a binder, and he needs to be held accountable for the kind of stuff that he says. And I believe he said that he had seen evidence or video of Tyler Robinson. Now, Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, the widow, came out and said, according to Candace, and there's a lot of hearsay going on here. We're just trying to mix it in that there's no video, or they haven't seen any video. So I don't know what he saw. But anyway, let's go here. This is evidently about the Brown shooting and someone being targeted specifically. This is what Posobiec needs more than anything. Just like the Bondi thing, it has to be Jews are targeted. That one could very well be. But this one in Brown has to be some sort of target, and it has to be a target of right-wing thought. It's got to be that, or it's got to be Jews. It can't be anything in between, because we've either got to vilify Muslims or we've got to vilify lefties. And so it's got to fit our narrative, and rightly so, that the left comes out and does the same thing. Tyler Robinson was a righty. Okay, can we who was this? Let's get rid of these people and or figure it out.
With the Charlie Kirk assassination still in living memory of people, and I know affecting people every day, we need to know immediately if there's a scintilla, a possibility that Ella Cook was targeted because she's a young conservative. We need to know that. We must know that. And just as we talked right there, just came across the wire, Dan Bongino, it's official, been rumors all day, and Jack, you're a guy that knows Dan as well as anybody. Dan Bongino has just tendered his resignation to the president. Your thoughts?
Steve, look, I know that's a tough job. I don't know that anyone does that job longer than 1 year or 2 years, and obviously being separated from his children, his young children, his family is very tough. And so I'd like to hear from Dan. Dan's someone that obviously all of us here in the posse have been close with for many, many years, someone that we follow, someone that we're friends with. And so I'd like to hear what is it? Is he saying mission accomplished, or is this under different circumstances? I think we all need to know what is really going on inside the FBI.
Okay, so part of that is this Ella Cook. We need to know that because evidently she was targeted. And got to know that because what we most need to understand is that she was targeted, because dear God, what if she wasn't? Then our whole narrative goes out the window. Okay, let's take a look here and see some of the amazing things that Kash Patel is doing, because I'm going to be very critical of this as well, which is his girlfriend. I do believe there is a big difference between having a relationship, maybe shacking up with a girl before you're married as the FBI director, because there's all kinds of reasons, and him being married. Okay, if this is your spouse, part of that is privilege. Okay, if something happens and your wife has privilege about not testifying against you, but she's not committed to him, he's not committed to her, so why are you allowing this? I'm imagining he's telling her all kinds of secrets. Anyway, let's go here.
If I was actually abusing it, I would go see every one of her shows. I think I get to like 15%.
Just to clarify, how often has he traveled to see you since January 20th?
Oh gosh, I think with Nashville. I've been in Nashville
Yeah, I've been to her house a couple times with her family for the holidays and birthdays. I've seen her perform this year, I think 3 times.
Yeah.
And if I was actually abusing it, I would go see.
Right. We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel, and that is not what Kamala Harris is about. We need to bring home Americans and end this war. Bring home Israel.
All right, I had 2 little clips going there. Okay, so that's one thing he's saying on the couch there. Now he did this interview. Let's play another clip here, because this is them, and I believe personally that this is something that is going to be actually shown, or would be used in defense of defamation and whatnot. So let's take a look here.
It is.
So I just want to clarify, you're not Jewish.
I'm not.
You're not from Israel.
No.
So how did we get to, are you a Mossad agent?
That's a great question. I too have that question for the internet, actually. You and me both. No, I'm not sure. I'm not Jewish. I'm Christian. I'm Armenian. So, not really sure how we got there. I've never been to Israel. I'd love to go. It's just, the stamp isn't even on my passport, and I'm just as confused as everyone else is.
Because the internet, to this point, of the personal attacks on you and your relationship are not only from the far left, but are from the far right as well.
Okay, so they're joking about that, which kind of goes, okay, well, if it's defamation and you're not, really hurt about it, and you're making jokes about it, then what's really the problem there? One, you can be a spy without ever having been to the country. I don't think Alger Hiss ever went to Russia. He might have. Whittaker Chambers had, but whatever. So you can be a Russian spy without having ever been there, without ever having it on your passport. It's pretty simple how the idea is that you're a honeypot. One, I gotta fix this thing real quick because we want to do this. So, okay, there we go. So let's play this again.
That's right. We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel, and that is not what Kamala Harris is about. We need to bring home.
There you go. So we need to prioritize Israel. So you got him saying that. You have Dan Bongino saying that kind of same crap, and then you're a head of one of our agencies, and then you're dating a girl that's presumably you could be your daughter's age, and if you had a daughter, and she's way out of your league. So the honeypot idea, that's the joke. Okay, that's the whole joke about all this stuff. But these guys are just, they're not humorous. Okay, let's do one. I don't want to go back over that. I think we're donezo for that for this evening. The last thing I'm going to play is, we're gonna save this for tomorrow. Here's a little preview of what we've got for tomorrow. I'm gonna throw you up some things. It's Nick super chatting about what a real man is. Okay. What he believes a real man is. It's Toad getting commented to of Nick also saying something about women, and Toad goes, "My God, this is gay." Candace Owens replies to him, and we'll play the clip here tomorrow. And he has no idea why it's gay, which makes it even funnier. Yes, that is true. So that's one little thing we're going to play there. We're going to also play, like I told you, we're going to play the thing of Owen Schroyer, his little debate. We're going to play some of that. Last thing I wanted to do, I had it here, and I don't know where it went. Let me refresh this, because sometimes these bookmarks, especially on the desktop, they get real wonky. There's a TPOSA quote. Maybe we should do this real quick. Who is replacing Dan Bongino? There you go. Sorry, don't worry, folks. Bongino is leaving this leftist in charge. What could go wrong? They're all kind of leftist. No, Kyle Serafin, he says, whistleblower hunter, J6 believer. Comey Ray promoted non-FBI agent. Sharon Perry is fourth in command of the FBI behind director DD and ADD roles. Chris Wray, Paul Abbott put her in this spot before they left. Director Kash decided to trust her. Shannon Perry named assistant director of the Information Management Division. There you go. That's who now is in charge of, or took Dan Bongino, will take Dan Bongino's spot. There you go. There was this other one. It was this guy. I didn't know he was so short, and now I have to try to find it again here. It was with the girl that said the N-word, and then she goes on his show, and he has this giant clock behind him. I used to think it was like a novelty-sized clock, but now sitting next to her, he's so short that I'm like thinking, oh my God, he's a midget, a leprechaun, or something like that. I don't know. Okay. That's all we have for you today, folks. Tomorrow we'll be back somewhere around maybe 4 or 5. I have parents in town. We're trying to fix these things. I got paint on my hands still. I got a cat scratching me, but anyway, so we'll see you back on here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. One thing I totally misdid it. I'm gonna have to do this before we go. Let's see if I could fix it. There we go, folks. Find us on Substack, tyleryonke.substack.com for all your needs. Thanks, guys, for coming in. We will see you tomorrow. As always, LPR. Take care.
Okay, I'm leaving now.
But she's back.
And now.
Tyler, if you had any clout about you, if you had any knowledge of the real world,
none of us are screaming, "Let's kill Tyler."
Tyler says, "My
Jewish princess."
You low key, you're one of the funniest dudes in the Liberty world that I know.
More or less, eat shit and die. He's just a podunk lawyer somewhere in rural California. He's an idiot, really.
Takes a tough man to make a tender forecast, Nick.
I guess that's me.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Do you see what he just did to Tyler? I feel like you don't get the appreciation for your humorous wit.
What are you talking about? I didn't say that. Why don't you argue with something I said, you dumb bastard?